So again, good morning. Let us start the embedded system DET 3102. The course outcomes are students will be able to select the relevant microcontrollers for various industrial uh, applications. Students will be able to use the embedded C programming language to maintain the embedded system. Students will be able to interpret the communication standards for embedded system. Students will be able to develop the basic application of the embedded system. Students will be able to interpret the features of real-time operating system. Okay, so let us check the embedded system applications we have seen. Okay. Embedded system, one more application, that is the robo buggy we have seen, and it's depending on it, it's a block diagram we have seen. This block diagram I will repeat today again. You can check this block diagram by stretching the uh, display on the mobile. It is possible to enlarge the display on the mobile. Okay, or also in the systems. So this system is having uh, microcontroller. Okay, peak microcontroller is there here for as an example. So there is a microcontroller in the embedded system. To this microcontroller to function, battery or power supply is required. 9-volt alkaline battery is shown here. Okay, power supply is required on which the microcontroller runs. Then power regulation management is required. That means regulator circuitry and charging circuitry are required. And they may regulate 5-volt voltage, 9-volt voltage, 12-volt voltage, or something 8.5-volt voltage, ground system. So 9-volt voltage is required for higher volt monitor, higher volt components, and 5-volt is required for digital components. Or even the digital components are working on less voltages also. So microcontroller, power supply and power regulation management are required. Then analog to digital converter is required. Analog to digital converter is the facility of the microcontroller to interact the microcontroller with the outer sensors, outer world. Microcontroller understands the digital, sensors develop the analog. So analog to digital converter helps the microcontroller to understand the data from the sensor. Sensor is developing data, generating data in the analog, and microcontroller can understand that data by converting it to digital. So analog to digital converter is very important block required in the embedded system. Now if that embedded system is having the sensors, then all the sensors are also the part of the embedded system, because microcontroller system is working on the data which is coming from the sensor and then taking some decisions. Okay, so sensors are there, that light sensor is there, for ultrasonic ranging sensor is there, bump sensor is there, whether it is colliding on some wall or that can be understood. Ultrasound servo is there. Then data, serial data and serial clock are also there as a part of the embedded system. The compass is also can be interfaced. Then serial extension bus Extensions can be drawn for connecting other devices. Now, if the embedded system is having some movements, then motors are required. What are the movements required? Suppose robotic buggy is there, robotic buggy. Then robotic buggy will have some wheels on which the robotic buggy can move. So there are requirement of motors. Okay, motors are required for that. So motors are there, and to drive that motor, motor driving interface is required. Okay, to drive the motor, motor driving interface is required. Why the driving interface is required for the motors? Now this lecture is information is important because it is used or applied applicable for most of the projects. Okay, the motor is required for movement. Okay, but motor requires the driving interface because microcontroller will tell that motor to run. It will ask the motor to run, but microcontroller cannot run the motor. To run the motor, driver is required. Because driver is having that much electric power, so that it can run the motor, and microcontroller not having that power to run the motor. It can only tell the motor to run. Yes, Mr. Motor, you have to run clockwise or anti-clockwise. But actually running of Mr. Motor is done by motor driving interface circuit. Okay, microcontroller told that motor you have to run clockwise, but now motor driving interface will run actually clockwise the motor, similarly anti-clockwise. Okay, this microcontroller will tell the motor to stop, then motor driving interface will stop the motor. So motor driving interface is the circuit which runs the motor, but microcontroller is the circuit which tells the motor to run, in which direction, how much time, how much rotations, how much angle. You have to run 30 degree, you have to run 45 degree, you have to run 65 degree, like that. So motor driving interface and motors are required in the embedded system because embedded system is requiring the movements. Okay. What are the applications? Robotic buggy requires the movement because it has to run on the wheels, running on the wheels. Okay. Similarly, ATM machine, it has to give out the notes outside. So movement is there, isn't it? You have to fetch the ATM card inside. Movement is there. So there are motors. Okay, giving notes outside, giving the ATM card outside, or taking the ATM card inside. Movements are there. So motors are required. In the industry, the bottle is there, the nozzle is there. To move the nozzle to the bottle and to fill the medicine into the bottle and remove the nozzle outside from the bottle and take the bottle to next location. Everywhere the motors are required. Now on next location there will be cap of the bottle which is fitted by some robotic arm. So robotic arm requires motoring action. Okay, sealing will be there. Then bottle goes further. Then there will be labeling of the bottle. त्याच्यावर लेबल लावलं जातं, रॅपर लावलं जातं. So everywhere the motoring actions are there. So motor and motor driving circuits are there. And what action, how much action, what is the torque, what is the angle, what is the speed, everything will be controlled by microcontroller. Okay. But microcontroller is not having actually running the capacity, running power to the motor. Microcontroller only can give the signal and not the power. Understand the difference between signal and power. Okay. So these are the different parts, we can say, of the embedded system. Okay. Embedded systems parts. Okay. So this is the block diagram for the embedded system. So as we know, the embedded system are incorporated in the Internet of the Things or machine to machine, M2M devices. What do you mean by that? Internet of the Things. What do you mean by that? The thing is connected to Internet. That means Internet interfacing facility should be there in the embedded system. Okay. These are some of the examples we have seen in the last day. Central heating system, GPS system, fitness tracker, medical devices, automotive systems, transit and fare collection, ATMs, factory robots, electric vehicle charging stations, interactive chaos. Then we have started with embedded system types, isn't it? We have just started the embedded system types and we have discussed single first type. Embedded system can be divided into four types based on performance as well as functional requirements. Based on the performance, how it performs, it is real time or standalone, and depending on functional requirement, how it functions. Is it networked or it is mobile or it is standalone or it is real time? So real time we have seen real time embedded system are designed, installed, carry out the specific tasks within the defined time limit. A specific task is completed within the defined time limit. That is the real time system, and they are further divided into soft real time system, hard real time system. And the soft real time systems are there for these systems. The completion of the task is paramount importance and not the deadlines. What is the deadline? What is the time limit? It is not important. But completing of the task, whether the task may take higher time than the deadline, but task must be completed. That is soft real time embedded system. Some applications are there which are hard real time embedded systems are required in that. Those systems prioritize the deadlines and they should not be missed in any case because the next action is dependent on completion of first action. That's why the actions required must be completed before time or within time. So hard real time embedded systems prioritize deadlines. They shouldn't be missed. The deadline shouldn't be missed in any case. So these are the types of the real-time embedded system. Soft real-time embedded system is one. Hard real-time embedded system is the one more. Another. Then real-time embedded system examples are there. Some of the examples. Sound system of the computer. This is soft real-time system. Sound system. Soft real-time system. Sound system means for generating the different signals. Suppose digital sound may be there, analog may be there, and analog is always real time, but digital is there. Then after processing, filtering, etc., and properly equalizing and etc., that sound system is given to the maybe analog to digital to analog converter, and analog signal may be given to the speakers. Or mic analog signal is given to the ADC, analog to digital converter, and then the digital signal is given to the processors for processing it, for filtering it, for equalizing it, for storing it. Okay. So this sound system of the computer is soft real-time system. So it will allow the delays, slight delays, and deadlines are not maintained, are not of paramount importance in that. Deadlines are not paramount importance in that. Okay. So this is in case of soft uh, interfaces. Okay. So soft interfaces are like sound system of the computer. Okay. Then aircraft control system is hard real-time system. Aircraft control system is hard real-time system because in air type this aircraft control system requires very stringent completion of the task, very stringent, because the task must be completed, otherwise there will be a possibility of hazards, accidents in the aircraft systems, isn't it? So this is the example aircraft control system is hard real time system. Okay. So sound system of the computer, if some delays in the sounds are there, those delays will be either accepted by users or may not be recognized by the users. Users cannot understand also the delays, or that quality of the sound may not deteriorate, or the quality of sound is deteriorate, then that quality of the sound may be accepted by the users. Okay, so it is not harming much. But in case of aircraft control system, if slight change in the parameter is there, there may be the possibility of very high hazard, very high big accident. In that conditions, the hard real time systems are required. Okay, so the time deadline is maintained. Time deadline is having priority. So these are the examples. Then next type of the embedded system is standalone embedded system. Standalone. So what do you mean by standalone embedded system? Standalone. This word itself is explaining what it means. These are the self-sufficient systems that do not rely on host system like processor or computer to perform the task. Host system is not required compulsorily. Okay. So processors, external processors or host processors or master processors are not required compulsorily. Your local embedded system in that within that particular application, within that embedded system is sufficient. So here are some of the examples. Standalone embedded system examples are there. One is microwave oven, second is washing machines, third is video game consoles. Okay. So what they are doing? Microwave oven is having some functions of timers, of temperature control, of power supply to the coils, of power supply to the fans, exhaust fans, suction fans, heating coils, and some timers and some timer activities. Some relays are there, and microwave gun is there, power supply to the microwave gun. Oscillators are there, controlling the parameters of the oscillators. These are the actions in the microwave oven. So microwave oven may not require any other external master processor. Internal processor is sufficient for that. So microwave oven is standalone, separate entity of embedded technology, embedded system. So this is standalone embedded system. Washing machine, similar. Washing machine may require is having the motor which rotates the blades and fans, blades of the washing machine, and it operates the uh, evacuation of the water, taking the new water, heating the water, some other extra peripheral systems are there. Then it requires the timers, how much time to beat, how much time to squeeze, how much time is for this and how much time for other activities. There will be display which are the tasks completed, which are the tasks remaining. Only this much is required. No master processor is required. Local embedded system will do all the tasks. So washing machine is standalone, separately operating. Okay. It will not require any other connectivity. So washing machine is standalone embedded system. Video game console, similar. Video game console is there. If it is console, it is standalone. But if it is online, it is not standalone. Similarly, the microwave ovens and washing machine and refrigerators are also can be networked nowadays, isn't it? If you are using the AI, those machines are also require networking. Then they may not be treated or considered as standalone. Okay. But the microwave oven working separately individually, the washing machine working individually, video game console working separately individually and not networked. These are the examples of standalone embedded system. So what is standalone embedded system? These are self-sufficient systems that do not rely on host system like processor, computer to perform the task. And here are some standalone embedded system examples, and those are microwave ovens, washing machines, video game consoles. Okay, so these are the examples of standalone embedded systems. Then next type of the embedded system is networked embedded system. Networked embedded system. These systems are connected to a wired or wireless network. These systems are connected to wired or wireless network to perform assigned tasks. These systems are connected to a wired or wireless network to perform assigned tasks and provide output to connected device. They are having the components like controllers and sensors. Networked means what? They are connected to wired or wireless network. Na? Networked means they are networked in the network. Networked embedded systems. Networked means they are in the network. Which network? Internetworking. Internetworking of the communication. So this third type of the embedded system is networked embedded system. These systems are connected to wired or wireless network. So networks are of types. Wired network is there, wireless network is there, isn't it? Mobile hotspot is wireless network or computer hotspot. Laptop you can create as a hotspot. Mobile you can create as a hotspot. Your Wi-Fi router is a hotspot, wireless, isn't it? So wired or wireless. Some wired LANs are there, local area network. So these are the network of with the wire. Optical wire may be there or Ethernet copper wire may be there. So these systems which are in wired or wireless networks, these are networked embedded systems. The systems are connected to wired or wireless network to perform the assigned task or to provide the output to the connected devices. Okay. Suppose one device is there, that device is sensing in the industry some parameter, and that parameter is sensed by that system, embedded system, and that parameter is sent to the master embedded system through the cable or wireless or wired. सो 2 मिनिट मला कॉल आहे, 1 मिनिट मी कॉल अटेंड करतो, फक्त 1 मिनिट. सो लेट अस कंटिन्यू. द networked systems are connected to wired or wireless network. So these are called network system. So wired networks are there, wireless networks are there. Within that network, the systems are there. Then there are network system. If you, suppose in industry one local node is there, that node is sensing some parameter, that temperature or pressure or something, and that parameter is sent to the master control. That master control receives it through the wireless or wired system. Then master control processes the parameter of all the nodes and then give the command to perform some action. Then that command again comes over the wired or wireless network. That network may be wired or may be wireless. Okay. And that command is then implemented by the local network node. Okay. Local embedded system. So these are called network. These are not standalone. These are network. Okay. They are in the network. So these systems are connected to wire or wireless network to perform assigned task. Assign the task. Whatever the task is given, they perform and provide output to the connected device. They are comprised of components like controllers and sensors. Okay. They are having the components like controllers, like sensors. Okay. Network embedded systems are having the components of controllers and sensors and maybe other components. The network sockets are there, network communication. Here are some of the network embedded software examples. Network embedded software examples. ATM is the best example. Just we have discussed the industrial application. The node is there, senses the temperature and give to the master clock server. Similarly, ATM, what it does? It accepts the ATM card, read the ATM card, asks to put the PIN code, and it gives all the information to whom? Server, bank server. And bank server checks this information, validates this information, and what it does? After validation, it either allows the transaction or it declines the transaction. It declines means it do not give the money, or it allows the transaction means the money or currency is given, notes are given to user. So ATM node is there that is communicating with bank server. So ATM is the best example of network embedded system. Home security system. What is there in the home security system? So home parameters are there. That is main door lock is there. Okay. Lighting system in the home is there. AC, air conditioning system in the home is there. Burglar alarms in the home is there. Or the fire alarm in the home is there. Or the water system sensors are there. Many other systems are there. All are connected to the central monitoring system. Okay. CCTVs are there. If you are out of home, you can check your home whether it is well protected or not. When you are coming to the home, this network parameters checks that your GPS is coming near to home, and it will automatically start some of the systems. When you are in the door, automatically door opens, or you may be authenticated with your fingers and your iris detection, eye detection. So we are discussing the ATM and home security. In home security, many systems are there, and in those systems, the uh, systems are connected in the network, and whenever your GPS is coming, whenever your position is coming and showing in the nearby vicinity, nearby home, then that uh, systems which required are immediately turned on. Okay. Like that air conditioning of the home, or if in snowy area you are there, then heaters of the home are made on. Then door is allowed to open, or door is open, the gate of the home is open, then the garage of the garage gate of the home is open to put your vehicle. Whenever come to the main entrance of the home, that is door, you will be scanned with your iris, eye pupil, or the fingers, and you are allowed to enter into the home. Or maybe some electronic keys are there, and that Wi-Fi keys may be detected. So these are the home security systems. Then card swipe machines are there. As we know, the student card swipe machine may be there, or the in railway stations the card swapping machines are there. Metro stations card swapping machines are there. In the industries or establishments, offices, the card swap machines are there. You have to swap the card and you have to enter so that your attendance will be marked for your payment in the industry, in the establishment, in your jobs, isn't it? Services. The card swap machines are there. Student card swap machines are there when the student enters the college or university. When he or she swipes the card, her attendance or his attendance is marked. The student attendance is marked. When the student swipes the card in the library, he is allowed to enter in the library and he can access the books and online journals. Isn't it? So, these are the card swiping machines. All these are networked because the data should be interchanged, exchanged among the nodes locally and the server. Always the data is exchanged among the local node and the servers. Okay. So these are the local nodes and servers. So ATM, home security system, car swipe machines, these are the network embedded systems. This is the third example. What is the fourth example? Mobile. Embedded system example. Fourth example is mobile. These systems are smaller in size and easy to use. Mobile systems are very small in size and very easy to use. What are the different mobile systems? Mobile means which are handheld systems. Mobile systems are handheld, portable systems, and you can very easily port them anywhere. You can take those systems anywhere. Those are called mobile systems. Our mobile phone is a mobile system example. Mobile phone. The phone in the olden days was wired phone, telephone. Okay. And then there will be cradle and handset and all that. And that phone was not mobile. And whenever the wireless communication, wireless evolution came, and it developed the phones and all the gadgets which are mobile, which can be connected wireless, then the mobile devices came. Similarly, the mobile phone also came. introduced. So mobile embedded systems which can move anywhere very easily are called mobile embedded systems. Those are handheld systems, portable systems. These systems are smaller in size and easy to use, though they come with limited memory because they are very small in size, they are very handheld. All the facilities are limited in those. Battery backup is limited, memory is limited. Okay, so though they come with limited memory, people still prefer them due to their portability and handiness. Portability is there, we can port anywhere, and their handiness is there. That's why people prefer them. And here are some of the mobile embedded control system examples. Okay, here some of mobile uh, embedded systems examples. What are those? Digital cameras, mobile phones, smartwatch, fitness tracker. These are some of the examples. Okay, digital cameras are there, which are embedded systems nowadays, isn't it? Digital camera may be there in the mobile phone. Digital cameras may be in the separately DSLR. Digital cameras are the embedded system examples. So what are there in the digital cameras? There is a sensor, there is a lens unit. Lens unit may be movable lens unit in which the motors are there which moves the lenses and adjusts the aperture as well as the lens focal points, apertures for the amount of the light, lens focal point for the focusing the lens rays coming on the sensor of the mobile this digital camera, and other things like whether you want to have the date or the photograph, whether you want to have the location on the photograph. So if you want location on the photograph, GPS will be there. So in the digital camera, global positioning system is placed, installed. In the digital camera, timer is installed to track the time. In the digital camera, according to global positioning system, the time system may be set. In Indian case, it is plus 5.30 hours from Greenwich time. It is plus side. So in Greenwich time, you have to add 5.30 hour, 5 hours 30 minutes, and you will get the actual time of that zone. And then on photograph, you can have the local position, location, as well as time. So these are the additive circuits which are added into the digital cameras. So this is the mobile embedded system example. Okay. Then some AI may be added into that. Some other like color compensation, automatic aperture adjustment, isn't it? So it becomes very intricate type of the embedded system. Intricate, complicated. Okay, complicated means it will have many facilities. Automatically aperture adjustment, automatically brightness adjustment, automatically the focal point adjustment, automatically face detection facility, digital camera. This is the example of embedded system, isn't it? But it is mobile embedded system because you can port anywhere on your tour and on your journey, on in your classroom, okay, in the industry, in the fashion shows, in the hotels, okay, in the nature, in jungles, everywhere digital cameras are ported. They are portable, they are handy. That's why those are mobile embedded system. Next is mobile phones. As discussed, we have discussed many times. We are knowing, we are using the mobile phones. So mobile phones are basically connecting the two persons two hotspots together for voice call or video call. Nowadays, before that, a voice call. And these mobile phones are having the mouthpiece and speaker basically. And in the mouthpiece, we are converting sound into the electricity. That signal is going to the other side, and it is given to the, after amplification and equalizing, it is given to the speaker, and speaker will generate the sound from that, and we communicate it. One person communicates to the other person. So mobile phones, and nowadays mobile phone is having lot of the facilities, isn't it, inbuilt. The mobile phone itself is embedded system, which is mobile embedded system, and in this embedded system again many facilities are embedded. Camera is embedded, calculator is embedded, and the other health related sensors are embedded. You can walk and you can your distance will be counted, and your number of steps will be counted, and all other facilities are there. You can have the browsers inside it. You can browse the internet. Okay, you can have a lot of the apps, and you can have the social media apps also. So mobile phone is embedded system example. Then smartwatch is there. A lot of the facilities are there in the smartwatch. Within smartwatch you can have the mobile phone. Within smartwatch you can have the health tracking system. Within the smartwatch you can have the other facilities, calculators and all that. Smartwatch is there. Then fitness trackers are there, specially whatever we have discussed in mobile phone, it can count the distance we are walking and all that. Those can be separately given on the this wristband as a fitness tracker. Okay, fitness tracker you can put on your wrist, and you can go for the exercise. It can track your details of the body parameters, like even that can track the pressures, blood pressures and muscle voltages, and even it can track the sugars and all that, body sugar and all that. So these are the all mobile type of the embedded system. These are mobile type of the embedded system. Mobile type of the embedded system. Why mobile? They are small in size, easy in use. Those come with, may be coming with a minimum limited memory, may be coming with a minimum or limited battery backup, but still people prefer them for their advantage. What is the advantage? Advantage is portability, handiness. These are the advantage. Very easily it can be handled, very easily it can be used. And examples: digital camera, mobile phone, okay, then smart watches, then fitness trackers, and other examples you can find. I am giving here 4 examples. Other examples you have to find it. So these are the 4 examples of the embedded system, rather types of the embedded system. What are the types? Embedded system: real time embedded system, then standalone embedded system, then networked embedded system, and this 4th one is mobile type of the embedded system, mobile embedded system. So these are the 4 types. Okay. Real time, standalone, network, mobile. Okay. These are the 4 embedded systems, types of the embedded systems we have seen. So this is about the regarding the types of the embedded system. Okay, types of the embedded system. So now we'll turn to characteristics of embedded system. Characteristics. Break देऊ का 2 मिनटं. Characteristic of the embedded system. So what do you mean by characteristic of the embedded system? Okay. Suppose we are having any system, how system is fastly reacting, how system is accurately working. These are the characteristic of embedded system. Similar characteristic of any system. Similarly, some of the characteristics are there for the embedded system. The main characteristic or typical characteristic we'll see. The main characteristic of or typical characteristic of embedded system: small form factor, SFF. So as we know, we have seen the mobile type of the embedded system. Those are very handy, very portable, very small. Digital cameras, mobile phones, and fitness trackers, and all other. So health bands we are calling it as. So form factor is very small. That product which is developed is with very small form factor. Okay, forming factor is very small. That means what its architecture is very small, miniaturized. And these are the PCB designs. You know PCB designs, printed circuit boards packed with robust processing power in smaller rugged enclosures with minimized space efficiency. तुमचा मोबाईल तुम्ही बघितलात, if you observe your mobile, how it is within it, inside it is very highly densely packed PCB is there, printed circuit board. On that many components are there, integrated circuits and resistors and capacitors and displays and buttons and touch switches and battery and all that. Processor, of course, memory and processor. Okay. So the PCB which is packed a robust processing power, having the robust processing power, which is packed with robust processing power in a small rugged enclosure. The enclosure, outside enclosure is very rugged, that is the metal enclosure and plastic enclosure is there, and that minimizes the space very efficiently. Okay, so small form factor is achieved. Small factor is in which those are PCB designs, the small factors in which the PCB designs are packed with the robust processing power in smaller rugged enclosures, which minimizes the space efficiency. Efficiency is enhanced, space is minimized. Okay. So this is small form factor. Similarly, power efficient components are there. Power efficient components. If the embedded systems are standalone or network or mobile, whatever may be, they run on the power supply battery. And if they consume lot of power, we require the large capacity batteries. Large capacity battery will take more space, it will take more power, and it will have more unnecessary heating. And for that purpose, power efficiency of the component must be there. Component must be power efficient. Component must be power efficient. All the components inside the embedded system. So these are the processors. Basically, processor consume a lot of power, isn't it? You must be knowing. These are the processor with lower thermal design, and that power minimize or cooling, and that also have eradication of the power, thermal power. Eradication म्हणजे पंप आउट केलं जातं, बाहेर काढून टाकलं जातं, eradicate केलं जातं. Then for that the need of fans will be there, as well as some moving components are may be there. Okay. So thermal eradication may be there with the heat sinks, thermal heat sinks. So power efficient components are there. Basically the components are made power efficient, and whatever the power consumption and due to the heat, that the thermal generation will be there, heating will be there, that is also eradicated by cooling. Okay. So power efficient components are required. If they are not power efficient, they will heat up and minimize the efficiency also. Overall efficiency, power efficiency will be minimized. So these are this is one of the characteristic of the embedded system. Okay, what is that? And that is power efficient component are required. Power efficient components. Then single functioning. They are single function. These systems are designed to perform specific operation during their lifetime. Specific operation. The system is doing one specific operation. Suppose the embedded system is there as handheld ticket vending machine. Handheld ticket vending machine will only use for ticket vending. ATM machine only used for withdrawing the money or currency or notes, only one function it will do. Okay, so this is one of the characteristic of the embedded system. Single function embedded system. Embedded systems are single function. So these systems are designed to perform specific operation during their lifetime. ओके, एटीएम मशीन बसवल्यापासून ते खराब होईपर्यंत ते काय करतं, तर नोट्सच देईल तो आणि तुमचा किती बॅलन्स आहे तोच दाखवेल, तुम्हाला बँक ॲक्सेस करायला फॅसिलिटी देईल, तो नोटाच फक्त देत राहील, अर्थात त्यात भरलेले असतील तर. ओके, एटीएम मशीन हे फक्त नोटा करन्सी व्हेंडिंगचं काम करतो, नोटा छापत नाही ते काय, त्याच्यामध्ये नोटा भरायला लागतात. इजंट इट, यू मस्ट बी नोईंग. नोटा भरण्याचं गाडी येते, त्या नोटा भरते, पण ते काय करतं, इट कंट्रोल्स द व्हेंडिंग ऑफ द नोट्स. ॲक्युरेट नोट डिटेक्ट करणे, ॲक्युरेट नोट्स काउंट करणे आणि ॲक्युरेट मनी व्हेंड करणे. ओके, अशी कामं एटीएम करतं. म्हणजे तेवढ्या तेवढ्या सेन्सर्स आणि तेवढे ऑपरेशन्स तुम्हाला त्याच्यामध्ये बिल्ड करायला लागतील. नोट डिटेक्ट करता आली पाहिजे मशीनला, 50ची आहे की 100ची आहे की 500ची आहे. चुकून 500ची नोट समजून 100ची दिलं तर तुमचं नुकसान होईल, चुकून 100ची समजून 500ची दिलं तर बँकेचं नुकसान होईल. सो these are some of the characteristics. Okay, single functioning is there. Whatever, once the machine is made, that machine will function for single purpose. Okay, single function. Lower cost. The embedded system must have very low cost. Any system, rather engineering system, always the attempt is made to lower the cost. Suppose there is a vehicle, truck is there, car is there, two-wheeler is there, always the company will try to lower the cost by many management and production and material related and manpower related techniques, okay, or practices. What every company or every organization or every person, everybody is trying is, all the systems are made cost effective. Similarly, the embedded systems are made cost effective. Okay, so lower cost is one of the characteristics. These characteristics must be there in the embedded system. Lower cost. Otherwise, if cost increases, embedded system becomes less effective. Okay, so since they don't feature expansion slots for peripherals, embedded systems are generally lower cost than full featured computers and have fewer component complexities. Okay, means what? Computer is there which is general purpose. What do you mean by general purpose? You can expand it, you can extend it, you can have the extensions, you can connect many things to that, and you can configure for many applications, general purpose applications. For example, if computer is there, you can connect to its USB, the printer, that becomes one system. So computer, you can feed something, you can take something and you can print it on the printer, so it becomes one system. You can connect the Ethernet cable, you can use it for the network server, you can connect some other system, speakers for that, you can run it for the audio running, you can connect the mic and you can record the audio. Similarly, many other are there. So I am telling here the simpler applications to connect. So in industry case, you can connect the industrial applications, you can connect some automatic application, automated machines, and you can go for some CAD work, some CAM work and so on. So computer can be used for different sophisticated machine interfaces. So in control system in 5th semester, this semester, the control system PLC machine is connected to the computer. So what is the PLC machine? Now in your laboratory you are having the PLC machine, you have to do the programming. In that PLC machine many automation principles are studied. So that means many automation configurations are there and that is connected to computer and computer can run those machines. So what is there? So there is automation setup. So you can use computer for automation setup. That means computer or laptop is general purpose and you can configure it for any purpose. You can configure for any purpose. Now I am using my computer for the online lecturing. So I am configured the computer in this particular application. Okay. So we are having the other embedded system kit. You can configure it with the computer. If you are having the uh, kits of satellite communication, if you go visit the satellite stations, uh, computers are controlling the satellite main communication path. Okay. So if you visit the telemetry, there's the telescope, giant meteor telescope, GMRT. Then there are big supercomputers which control that long distance stars observation. So these are the examples. Any industry purpose, medical purpose, operation table, many machines are connected to the computer and then computer is controlling that. The missile launching or the satellite launching, many computers are controlling all these operations. That means computer can be used for any purpose and we can load any software and we can use their ports, computer ports for connecting many that port or slots, expansion slots. These are called expansion slots technically for our uh, regular talking purpose. We are calling it as USB port or some other port, HDMI port and all that. So these are the expansion slots. So computer general purpose and computers are having lot of expansion slots and peripherals can be connected to that. So to make that the computer price cost will become very high. That will not remain cost effective. But the computer can be used for any purpose. What are the applications? Enormous applications are there with the computer. So computer machine is having enormous applications. So what about the embedded system? Embedded system throughout the life function for single cause. ATM will function for only giving notes. Ticket vending machine for its lifetime will give only tickets. Vending machine will not give notes. ATM machine will not give tickets. So they are for only single purpose. Embedded systems are for only single purpose. So their cost is less, lower cost. Since they don't feature expansion slots for peripherals, embedded systems are generally lower cost than full featured computers and have fewer component complexities. Okay, which is written on this slide. What is written on this slide? What is written on this slide? Embedded systems characteristic is lower cost. Since they don't feature expansion slots for peripherals, embedded systems are generally lower cost than full featured computers and have fewer component complexities. Complexity of the component is less. Complexity of component. As we have seen many examples, we can connect to the USB many components. So there will be complexity of components. So we have to define the standards of the USB. We have to define the protocols of the USB. Then the other component is accessing through the USB with the protocol and add the USB protocol USB port internally to the computer. The serially data is coming and that data rate is to be controlled and that data is packaged, and that data is packet data packets are collected by the computer. They are segregated, they are separated, their address is removed, and the data is collected and put into serially into the data structure, the data files, and then recreate the data and then use it for the next purpose processing. So this becomes the whatever complexity of that port. So if the expansion slots increases, the complexity increases. Now once USB is there, 2 USB are there, 3 USB are 10 USB are there. So this is about the USB. Then Ethernets are there. Then HDMI ports are there. Then audio ports are there. Okay. Then memory slots are there. You can connect the memory cards to the. So all this is to be controlled. All these are to be accessed by the computer. Computer has to access all this. So what becomes due to that? Component complexity increases. Complexity increases, isn't it? Instead of the fewer component, many general purpose components are added. So complexity increases. So computer has larger complexity because it is general purpose system. But embedded, hello, it is जेवायला बसला तो. It is general purpose system. टाटाचा आवाज आला जेवायला बसला. स्टुडंट असेल. Hello, it is general purpose system, lower cost. So since they don't feature expansion slots peripherals, embedded systems are generally lower cost than full featured computers and have fewer component complexities. Okay, so these are some of the uh, characteristics of the embedded system we have seen. Okay, so I think we should stop here now for today for embedded system class. Tomorrow again we are having the same first OFSS class and then continuing the same link embedded system class. शिंदे, श्रेयस शिंदे, माइक बंद कर. ठीक है. लेट अस मीट टुमारो. ओके.